When I left basic training, I had 2 weeks vacation. It's called leave. So I went from Fort Jackson, South Carolina down to my hometown for 2 weeks, hanging out with my girlfriends and fishing and that kind of thing. And then I left there and flew to Newark, New Jersey, which was the closest airport to Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. So I got off the airplane, went down, got in a taxi cab. Taxi cab took me all over the place. I could see the bus station from the airport. But I went for a 40-minute ride in a taxi cab because I'm new to all this. I'm just a new guy. I don't know any of the ins and outs here. So I finally get to the bus station, and then I said, I need a bus to Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. And the guy said, okay, here's your ticket. So I got the ticket, and I went down to get on the bus. And it was standing room only for me. So I stood up in the aisle from Newark, New Jersey, and it went from Newark to New York, and then from New York over to Fort Monmouth. So I was standing up. I couldn't see out the window. I could see the sidewalk all the way there, but that was about it. I didn't see anything of New York. But anyway, so I got there to Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, and they said, well, you need to go to headquarters company. So, okay. So I went down to the headquarters company, got all signed in, and he said, you're going to report to H company. Okay. So I went in, H company reported, said, I'm here for the tactical microwave repair school. Oh, okay. That means you got to go through 4 weeks of basic electronics first. He says, before you do that, though, you're going to spend 7 days as a KP. I said, 7 days? KP, 7 days? Really? He says, yeah, the way we do things here is all students to come in, go to KP for 7 days, and then after 7 days, you never have to go to KP again the whole time you're here. Well, okay, I guess that's okay. It sounds kind of fishy, but okay, I'll do it. I can do it. So I went to H company, and the guy says, go up to the second floor, put your stuff away. There'll be a guy up there you can talk to. He'll show you the beds you need to be in. Okay, great. So I go up there, man. There's about 15 people in this big room. They all got beds, and there's one little bed in the corner. He says, this is where you're going to be, and there's your wall locker. He says, but don't unpack anything. He said, all you need is a uniform. 1 day's uniform. So, okay, so I took out my fatigues for 1 day, my boots, got them all on and everything. And he says, now tomorrow morning, he says, right now, you can go down to the day room if you want to and look around. He says, but tomorrow morning, be here at 4:30. Get up at 4:30 and come downstairs. There'll be a formation for all KPs. Okay. So 4 o'clock the next morning, I go down there and there's a formation for all KPs. So I got in the formation, and it says, we'll march you over to the mess hall. Okay. So we marched over to the mess hall. We got to the mess hall, and the mess sergeant came out and he says, okay, this is what you're going to be doing for the next 7 days. He says, go inside and count. First, let's count off. 1, no one would count it off. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was number 5. He says, first 5 guys, step out. He says, go inside and report to this mess sergeant. It's okay. So we all did, and the mess sergeant says, number 1, back sink man. Number 2, side sink man. Number 3, side sink man. Number 4, you're a floater. Number 5, dining room orderly. So I was going to be in as a dining room orderly. He says, now report to those areas. There'll be somebody there to show you what to do. It's okay. So I go in the dining room, and I said, I'm sorry, I wish. I'm Private Libby. I'm here for KP, dining room orderly. What do I need to do? He said, okay. He says, you see over there next to the wall, you have coffee, you have soda, and then you have milk at those stations there. Make sure those are clean all the time. He said, there's rags over there. Make sure wipe them down. If there's any dribbling coming down from anything, make sure you clean it up as often as possible. I said, okay. He says, when the soldiers come in and sit down to eat, they're going to be looking for, salt, pepper, and other condiments. He says, make sure they're always full. That's part of the job. Okay. He says, then in the evening, when the last soldier finishes eating and everything, and the mess hall's closed, he said, then the work begins. He says, you need to mop. First you need to vacuum the rug where it needs to be. Then you need to mop the areas that aren't where there's no rug. Lay down some, after you mop, then you're going to put down wax, and then you have to buff it shiny. Okay, sounds good to me. I thought, man, this is going to be all right. There's not a whole lot to do here, So, okay. So when the time came around, that's what I did. First, I swept the floor that didn't have any rug, and then I mopped that area, and I put down the wax, buffed that, and started to buff it in. So this guy comes over from the side, and he says, here's the buffer. You know how to use a buffer? No, I don't know. I never touched one before. Well, this is how it works. You got 2 handles here. You just pull this handle, it goes this way. This one, it'll go this way. And double handle turns it on, and it goes straight. Oh, it's okay. So he kind of showed me how to do it. He says, now you try it. And I did, and I had I was doing pretty good. He said, I'll be back in 30 minutes. He said, make sure you buff the whole area here that doesn't have any rug. Okay. So he left, and I'm buffing, and of course I got to buff underneath the tables and everything. I went, oh, okay, great. So I'm buffing, and all of a sudden, bam! I hit a table leg, broke it. Oh shit! So I got over to the other side, and I hit a table leg, broke another one, and I broke 3 table legs in 30 minutes. And and I'm putting them back together when he comes in. What in the hell's going on? I said, well, the buffer has a mind of its own. And I says, I couldn't control it. He says, you don't need to be here. He says, follow me. So we went back into the kitchen, and we went over to the side sink. And he says, you're going to be working over here. He says, so this is how your job is. This is what your job is. When the soldiers come in and finish eating, they have to scrape all the food off their plates, off their metal trays, and they stack them up here. He said, you pick them up here, then you take them over to the washing machine, and you give them to the washer. just stack them up over there. And he'll put them in the washing machine and wash them. And then when they come out the other side, it's your job to go over there, pick them up, and take them back over and put them in the rack where all the trays go. Okay. He said, that's your job from now on. You ain't working in the dining room. And then the guy who I was replacing, he looks at him and he says, have you ever worked in the dining room? I did it in basic training. He said, okay, you are the dining room orderly now. Private Libby, your side sink. Okay. So that's what I did for 7 days in a row. Wasn't real happy about it, but I did it. And then the other part about that is your uniform gets all kind of crap on it, Now I put the apron over my head, tied it all up, and the other guy in the side sink's going, what are you putting that on for? I said, I don't want to get my uniform dirty. And they're laughing at me. I said, okay, fine. So I get back to the barracks, and I asked the guy, I said, where do you wash your uniform? He said, you don't want to wash it. Don't wash it. He said, you wear the same uniform for the whole 7 days. He says, the reason is because when it gets dirty, if it gets real dirty, you can wash it. He says, but otherwise, you'll be washing it every day in the evening when you get back after 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes you have to work till 10. He said, you'll be washing your uniform. It'll take you the rest of the night to wash it, dry it, iron it, and put it back on for the next morning. He said, don't do that. He said, what all the rest of us learned quickly was just wear the same uniform, but keep it clean while you're there. I said, oh, okay. We'll give that a try. So sure enough, I wore one uniform for 7 days. And did it get dirty? Yeah, it got a little dirty. But I kept that apron in place. So I was wiping most of the food that was getting on me. Wasn't getting on my uniform, it was getting on that apron. So I'm constantly cleaning the apron off. And so then, at the end of 7 days, it's time for, had to report, I think it was on Monday, I had to report back to the headquarters. I was in the headquarters company, but I had to report downstairs, as we all did. And so they told us, you have 1 day off. Today you have off. Tomorrow you report right here, and we'll take you down to the schoolhouse where you're going to start your schooling. Okay, sounds good. So on that Monday, we get down to where we got to go to school. And the bus would take us down to the schoolhouse because the schoolhouse wasn't close to where we were at. The electronics part, the electronics schoolhouse, was on the other side of the base. It's not a base, it's a post. It was on the other side of the post. So I had to go down there and report in, and it says, okay, this is what we're going to do. So then we started, the instructor started telling us this is the equipment, and you're sitting in a chair, and you got all this equipment in front of you. A multimeter, an oscilloscope, a soldering set, and then some other stuff. He said, this is the stuff you're going to be using for the classroom while you're in the classroom. Oh, cool. It looked like we're going to be doing something. But, he says, the first 2 weeks you're going to be bookworms. He said, we got a lot of studying to do and a lot of exercises. So, okay. So they started. And, we had to learn about transitions. How come I can't talk today? We had to learn about transistors and circuiting circuits, series circuits, parallel circuits, all different kinds of circuits. And you had to be able to read a schematic. That's where it started. So, I'm doing my best, trying to read a schematic and find out where this goes and that goes. Why do I care what a transistor does? I'm thinking to myself, it's just a little thing. How important can it be? I don't know. So I started, all bookwork every day for 7 hours. And then but you do get a lunch break. So I kind of buddied up with the guy next to me, and I says, what do you do when you finish with school? Oh, I go down to Fort Monmouth. I go down to Long Branch. Oh yeah? Where's Long Branch? It's right down on the coast down there. In Long Branch, the city Long Branch has a pier. And I go down and I go fishing every day. Oh, fishing. That's my key. That was the magic word for me. I said, yeah, can I go with you? Sure, we'll go. We'll go together. He says, I got my cars right outside. We'll just head out there, get our fishing poles, and head over there. Cool. This is going to be all right, I'm thinking. So we studied, pretty good, but the whole time I'm studying and he's studying, we're kind of back and forth talking about fishing. And so every day we get off at a school, go back to the mess hall, eat supper, go out to his car, get in his car and go over to Long Branch and fish on the pier. I like this. This is great. So I did that for 2 weeks. Did I do good in school? No. I was terrible in school. I couldn't pass any tests. I couldn't study properly. To be honest with you, I never ever learned to study even when I was in high school. So studying wasn't a big deal for me. I had a big learning curve. So after we'd be down there fishing on the pier, catching all kind of stuff I'd never seen before. All kind of different kind of fish. We pulling them in, and we pick like a big one or a small one, and guys would come by and say, "You going to keep that?" No, you want it? Here, take it. We can't keep it. We got no place to put it. Can't cook it. I can just see myself walking in the mess hall to see the cook and say, "Can you cook this up for me?" And that wasn't going to work. So, no, here, take it. So we did that, and lessons started to fail. And I failed too many lessons. And so finally this guy came along and he said, look, if you fail any more lessons, they're going to ship you out of here. They're going to drop your 26T, or not 26T, but your microwave school will dissolve. Then the Army can put you anywhere they want. They can make you 11B, infantry, and send you right to Nam. They can put you in cook school. They can make you a truck driver. They can do anything they want. And you have no say in it, and that's what's going to happen. You want that? No, Sergeant. He says, well, you get your mind off of the pier and back into the books. Yes, Sergeant. So I did for a week, but I was so far behind I couldn't catch up. And finally, he told me, he says, you got to pass this test. I didn't pass it. He says, now, unfortunately, I want you to go over to and see Sergeant Walters over at the enlistment center. So, okay. I picked that up, next?